Let me run with you tonight. I'll take you on a moonlight ride. There's someone I used to see. She don't give a damn for me. So let me get to the point. Let's roll another joint. Turn the radio loud. Too long to be proud. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me. Let me run with you tonight. I'll take you on a moonlight ride. There's someone I used to see. She don't give a damn for me. So let me get to the point. Let's roll another joint. Turn the radio loud. Too long to be proud. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me. I rode off in between a memory and a dream. Welcome to the show. Think of me or what you will. I've got a little time to kill. So let me get to the point. Let's roll another joint and turn the radio loud. Somewhere I gotta go. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me. All right. Welcome to the show. Yeah, we're starting a little early today. Normally we fire them up in the evening time. But it's evening time somewhere across the world. All right. What are we going to talk about tonight? For those unfamiliar with the show, I am Big Daddy. I'm one man. I rip the mic. Talk about everything and nothing all at once. No subject is taboo or off the table. Comedy, news, paranormal, religion, politics, relationships. We talk about it all. Yeah, it's been a while since I streamed on this particular channel. When you talk as much shit as I do, you got to have multiple YouTube channels. And, I've got three channels currently active. I think it's been a little over 3 weeks since I streamed on this one. Fuck it, got to give the channel a little love. Yeah, Easter happened here recently. Yeah, I actually went on an Easter egg hunt for the first time since I was a child. A true to life Easter egg hunt. Yeah, it's not what you think though. My fucking chickens. You see, what happened was I went on a walk with the dog one day, and I kind of just left the door open, not thinking about it. And when I came back, there was a couple of chickens inside my place, and they were fucking pecking around and eating random shit on the ground. A lot of like random pieces of dog food or whatever. My dog, he likes to make a mess. But ever since then, those two particular chickens think they can find a free little scraplet of food anytime they come inside. So anytime I leave the doorway unguarded or keep the door open, these two particular chickens will try to get into the fucking house every fucking time. So they're kind of always posted up near the door. So what they've started to do is go underneath my place and lay their fucking eggs. And then a few of the other chickens are starting to follow their lead. So about half of my fucking chickens are laying eggs underneath my fucking place. And I've got to fucking spread out a piece of cardboard on the ground and like basically do a fucking little gorilla crawl underneath and like to where their nest is, and then gather up the eggs and say, oh fuck, are you kidding me? About half of them lay where they're supposed to, and then the other half fucking followed the lead of these two particular chickens and started laying them in places where they're not supposed to lay. Yeah, this is the worst time too, because my fucking back went out. Like I can't be stooping around crawling underneath the fucking house to get fucking chicken eggs, especially when there's rattlesnakes. I've encountered rattlesnakes. Fucking, sometimes they go underneath my place. They like to hang out underneath there. It's nice and cool. Yeah, fucking chickens. These particular hens are a lot more clever than any hens I've had in the past. Yeah, they learned from the rooster. I had this little bantam rooster, this tiny little fucking rooster, but he was the smartest fucking chicken I'd ever seen in my life. And what this rooster would do, like he was not bound by any sort of fencing. Like he would just jump up and like flap his wings a little bit and just go right over the top of the fence. And what happened was the hens would see that and they would follow his lead. So now the chickens do not stay inside their pen. They just kind of fly out and go wherever the fuck they want. It's a miracle they haven't all been killed by coyotes. But yeah, the rooster, he wandered off and he was eating some goji berries far, far away, and fucking coyote got him. Found a pile of feathers. I mean, oh, that's where the little fucker went. Yeah, so I don't have no more roosters left. It's just the hens. But I figured out a way to keep them close to my house. Like around midday, around 1 or 2 o'clock, I always throw a handful of food out. Because then they stay close to the house. And whenever they're close to the house, the fucking coyotes don't come around. It's whenever they start wandering far away, that's when they get fucking picked off one by one. Yeah, fucking chickens. Yeah, once they start laying, though, it becomes like an integral part of your diet. Like literally, all I would have to do is just get flour. I could live off of chicken and or eggs and biscuits, biscuits and eggs and biscuits. Yeah, I think I once heard that if you have eggs, like that's all you need right there. Like because it provides everything a human body needs as far as nutrition goes, as long as you've got some eggs. Yeah, makes sense why they tried to artificially inflate the price of eggs. Fucking pieces of shit. Lord only knows what sort of nasty hormones and poisons they're pumping into those chickens too. Yeah, once you have like free range chickens and you eat like those types of chicken eggs, it's a whole different ball game than the shit you buy from a store. Let's put it that way. Yeah, normal chicken eggs that comes from a chicken naturally, you can keep them kind of at cool room temperature, and they will last for like a couple months. The regular eggs you buy at the store, you got to keep them refrigerated at all times, or else they'll go bad. Because right when they get laid, they get washed off, and like it takes off a protective layer of membrane or something, and it makes them way more susceptible to getting rotted quicker or whatever. That's why they all come in refrigerated or whatever. But an egg naturally that comes from a chicken, you don't have to fucking refrigerate that. Like it's good for a couple months. It really is. Yeah, it tastes completely different too. Oh god, they're so much better than any store-bought eggs. I can see why they would want to fuck with the egg supply. Yeah, I still have little doubt that all of those killings of those millions and millions of chickens right in the lead up to the Trump presidency was some sort of a satanic ritual, some sort of dark sacrifice. Yeah, these fuckers. Yeah, they love to kill chickens. It's part of their fucking rituals, their satanic rituals, sacrificing chickens, roosters, and shit like that. Yeah, I love my chickens. Yeah, I got some neighbors here recently, I think. No, not I think, I know. I talked to some people, got some inside baseball on them. They came from the East Coast. And this is the first time I'm going to have neighbors that'll actually be able to hear me when I'm ranting and raving. Like, oh no. Hopefully they hear me and then they realize, oh fuck, we're in over our heads. This is the craziest fucking redneck. This goes far, far beyond anything we've ever seen in any sort of movie. We got to get the fuck out of here. I always thought about that. If I had neighbors start moving into the area, like what I would do to try to drive them away. And one thing that scares people more than anything, rednecks. Yes, try to make myself just project as much redneck fucking energy as possible. Put up a big old American flag in the yard. No, no, better yet. Yeah, this is what we would put it over. A Confederate flag. There you go. Fly a big old Confederate flag right in the front yard. Then they'll know who they're fucking dealing with over here. Like, oh shit, he's one of these types. Fuck. Uh-oh. There goes the neighborhood. We better sell this place. We can't live here. And if that don't work, I'll start walking around the property just wearing a fucking Klansman outfit, wearing the white sheet and the fucking hood and all that. Like, oh shit, we're living next to a Klansman. And if that don't work, I'll fly a fucking Nazi flag. That's what I'll do. If they see a fucking Nazi flag flying in the yard, like, okay, we got to get the fuck out of here. There you go. That'll drive away the neighbors. Yeah, it turns out that they're all into that shit, especially into the Nazi shit. Like, oh, we got a fellow Aryan here. They all come over with fucking gifts. Like, oh shit. And then we all get along. And turns out they're the coolest motherfuckers ever. Yeah, that'd be the thing. Ideally, there's a lot of biblical talk about the neighbor. You know, you got to be good to your neighbor. You don't want to be on bad terms with your neighbor because, especially if they're going to live there for years. It's the same reason why you don't want to start beefs with people in industries that you're going to be in for, 10, 20, 30 years or more, like the comic industry, animation industry, stuff like that. Apply it to the real life. The neighbor, you might be living next to your neighbor for 10, 20, 30 years or more. The last thing you want to do is be getting into beefs with your neighbor. I think that's why a lot of the Bible speaks about that kind of shit. Yeah, it ultimately comes down to golden rule principles. Do unto others as I would have do unto you. Yeah, but I almost got off on a real bad foot with my neighbors because I came within a hair's breadth of having to kill their fucking dogs. Full fucking real. Several days ago in the morning, I heard my chickens going off, and like I heard all the flapping. And my dog, if he fucking hits the door hard enough at a certain angle, he can pop that door open. And he did that. And he went out there, and I heard all this shit going off. So I'm, what the fuck? I fucking pop up, open the door, look out there, and I see a couple of fucking dogs. I remember seeing them across the way. I'm like, oh, it's the fucking neighbor dogs. But these fucking dogs are big. Like one of them, is literally Cujo. It could pass for Cujo. In fact, it's actually bigger than Cujo. Big old Saint Bernard looking motherfucker. And another one was clearly a pit bull husky mix. Like two big fucking dogs. Way bigger than my little blue heeler. Well, my blue heeler's not little. He's about a medium-sized dog. But yeah, these two fucking dogs dwarfed him. And they were chasing him around the yard, trying to fight him. They were chasing my chickens. And the big Cujo motherfucker chased my dog underneath my house. And like he was too big to fit under there. So he's like, kind of had him like pinned. So I'm like trying to yell at him, get him out of there, and fucking smack him on the butt. Like, get out of here, you son of a bitch. Do that to the pit bull husky looking one. And I go look at my fence because I'm thinking, how the fuck did they get in here? Because I thought my fence was closed. And my fence was closed. They had found some weak spot, a chink in the armor, and they kind of wedged themselves in and got into my fucking yard. Because at first I thought this was my fault that I accidentally left my fucking fence open. But now knowing the dogs fucking got through the fence in a weak link, and like, oh shit. So I go open the fence, and I'm trying to fucking shoo these dogs out of my yard, and they will not leave the fucking yard. Like, they simply will not leave the fucking yard. I got one of them chasing my chickens around. Another one's got my dog fucking pinned underneath the house and growling, wanting to fight. So I go up to that big Cujo-looking motherfucker. I kind of smack him on the ass. I'm like, get out of here, you son of a bitch. And then he pulls his head out from underneath the house, looks at me, and goes, growls. And at that moment, I remember hearing a friend of mine talking about how he had to kill a couple of Great Pyrenees that came onto his property and were chasing his chickens around, trying to kill them, and they started fighting his dog, and they wouldn't leave, and basically he had no choice. He had to kill those fucking dogs. And as soon as that motherfucker growled at me, I'm like, oh, fuck. Am I going to have to go into my fucking place, grab my fucking 9mm, come out here, and execute these two fucking dogs? I really don't want to. I mean, I'll fire a warning shot first, but if they fucking don't run then I'm going to be left with no fucking choice. And as soon as that thought crossed my mind, burp, burp, I heard the fucking horn honking, and the neighbors had kind of pulled up the road and were calling for their dogs. And after that, the dogs ran off and they went back, and like, fuck, you came in just in the nick of time. I almost probably had to kill these fucking dogs. If they didn't leave after I fired a warning shot or two, well, I would have been left with no fucking choice. I really wouldn't. And I would have been completely in the right, too. This is one of those states, like if a fucking dog comes onto your property, starting that kind of shit, especially, you know, killing your livestock or trying to fight your dogs, that kind of shit, you can fucking shoot them. I'd hate to do it, but I'd be well within my rights. Yeah, that would have been getting off to a bad start with the neighbors. They probably loved those dogs, took care of them for years. Just moving in like that, fucking get killed. Like, oh, no. Sorry, guys, but fuck, I didn't want to. They wouldn't fucking leave. Yeah, but more often than not, if a dog hears a fucking gunshot go off, it's going to fucking get scared and run off. But if I fire a warning shot, and if the fucking dog turns and tries to come at me Cujo style, well, fuck, then I won't feel bad about that. Yeah, it's pretty chill out here in the country for the most part. Usually the only time shit really pops off out here is if it's dog related. It's always drama related to dogs. This is what happens when you reach a certain level of chillness with humans. Like, the humans are all chill with each other, and then it's just the beasts are all fucking making all the trouble. Like, that's the only real trouble that happens out here. It's always dog related. But it's a lot better than the cities, where you have to worry about, you know, city problems. Mostly black people. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's worth it just to be away from the black people. Because that's the one place the black people do not go to, the country. Bingle, bangle, bungle, I don't want to leave the jungle. Oh, no, 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 no. Bingle, bangle, bungle, I'm so happy in the Congo, I refuse to roam. If you know what I mean. Now, we took them out of the jungles. We educated them, gave them civilization. And what's the fucking thanks we get? Now we gotta have everything locked behind fucking glass and plastic containers in the fucking stores now. It's too fucking dangerous to send your fucking kids to public schools now. especially if you're in the inner cities. Yeah, full fucking real. I blame one man and one man alone. Barack Hussein Obama. I mean, literally, like, racism wasn't, like, nobody ever, like, had race, whatever, like, their entire fucking, like, worldview, life, everything revolves around race. But then after fucking Barack Hussein Obama popped onto the scene, it seems like everything not just became about race, but it became about homosexuality, came about propping up women, all that fucking DEI bullshit. And straight white males basically got the jack boots put on the fucking back of their throats. That's what fucking happened. I mean, you look at back at all of the metrics of society. That's when it all went downhill. Barack Hussein Obama. He was the one that made gay marriage legal. Yep. When gay marriage became legal, that was the fucking domino, the very first domino. And now we got trans kids. From gay marriage to trans kids. This is how far we've fucking fallen. And all we needed was that first fucking domino to fall. Degenerates. Yeah, if gay people want to get together and just call it something else. Like, marriage is a holy union between men and women, meant for the primary purposes of raising children in family units. When gay people get kids, well, they always get male children, and we all know what happens when the gay couples adopt the male child. There's a reason why they don't allow gay people to adopt children in Russia anymore. Let's put it that way. It has nothing to do with what do they call it? Fuck, I actually forgot that fucking word. Homophobia, that was it, yes. No, it has nothing to do with that. Gays rape kids. There you go. Gay people cannot have children. Gay people create other gay people by molesting straight kids. That's one of the darkest fucking black pills there is. But this is one of the fundamental truths of the universe. This is how gay people are created. You ask any gay man, they were all molested as kids. This is the truth. Gays create other gays. There is no being born gay. I was born gay. Born gay. No, that's all bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. You're groomed into it as a child. I have never heard the tale of somebody being quote unquote gay without getting groomed as a child. It always fucking happens. Yeah, I have a really harsh stand about that. Knowing just how predatory gay people are, like, there needs to be something done about it. Oh, fucking real. With trans people too. Trans people are even worse. Yeah, that whole fucking section of that society, they call them the alphabet people. Well, that's what I call them. The LGBT HDTV people. The alphabet people. Sometimes I forget a letter here and there, so it's easier just to call them the alphabet people. They need institutionalized and chemically castrated, kept away from society where they can't harm nobody, especially children. This is fucking reality. It's harsh, but it is reality. I had to drink a little bit of coffee there. A little cotton mouth going. You know, I do got a bottle of wine here. Let's uncork let's uncork the wine, take a couple of plugs, and rant and rave a little bit more, shall we? It is one of those days. What are we going to talk about now? I'm just proud to be an American. Or at least I know I'm free. Well, kind of semi-free. I'm more freer than a lot of these other English-speaking countries. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I heard there was a man in Leeds. A Leeds man arrested for shouting, "Come on, England! Come on, England!" Literally, I fucking thought I was being trolled when I heard that. But I saw the footage. There was actually footage. There was like some sort of a protest going on in the streets of London. No, it was Leeds. A Leeds man arrested for shouting, "Come on, England! Come on, England!" And a cop came up and fucking slapped the cuffs on him. Yeah, meanwhile, Pakistanis, they can fucking gang rape a 13-year-old. Nothing fucking happens to them. In fact, the police will throw the fathers in jail if they try to fucking stop it. Yeah, that's how far the UK has fallen. Throwing people in jail for memes. Allowing migrant rapists to roam the streets, running roughshod over their women. Fuck. I mean, it sounds like some sort of a dystopian Black Mirror world, but this is the reality in which we live. Yeah, as bad as we got it here in the States, it could be worse. It could be fucking worse. It could be the UK. Yeah. But I heard that Trump actually. Now, I talked about this before. I actually went on the record as saying that there's very few things that could be done for the UK as far as like the people being able to like vote out their government or whatever, change things internally. Like the only way the UK can change is if America forces it to change. And I was talking about how if I was Trump, I would issue heavy, heavy sanctions against the UK until they like started overturning all of these draconian free speech laws, stop throwing people in jail for memes, all that shit. And it turns out Trump is doing exactly that. He's actually issued an ultimatum over there to the UK that unless they change their ways regarding free speech, that they're going to be hit with tariffs or something along that lines. They're going to face punitive actions unless they change their fucking ways and allow their people to be more freer. We'll see how that goes down. Yeah, the UK. I don't know if there's any hope for the UK, for real. You know that I heard that they actually have some sort of a plan to, and I quote, dim the sun. They want to dim the sun. I know this sounds like a Chinese dish, dim sum. No, they want to dim the sun. Make the sun dimmer. Like, how the fuck you going to dim the sun? You're going to send a bunch of spacecraft out there to space and try to build a Dyson sphere or something? No. What they're going to do is they're going to use chemtrails. Yep, chemtrails. Spread a bunch of fucking nasty chemicals in the air to try to block out the sun and dim it. Like, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? This is not an episode of Black Mirror. No, this is reality. The UK has basically decided to enact some sort of Mr. Burns-esque scheme to block out the fucking sun. Yes, they've graduated to comic book level supervillainy. Faux fucking real. Arresting people for free speech, arresting people for memes, allowing migrant rapists to run roughshod over their women. And now they're fucking gone full James Bond villain. They're going to try to block out the fucking sun. I mean, hell, that doesn't even do them justice. If there existed a word 1,000 times, or some sort of a strata of villain that was 1,000 times greater than James Bond villains, that's what these fuckers are, for fucking real. I mean, James Bond villains themselves wouldn't even go this fucking far. Try to block out the fucking sun with these deadly fucking chemicals that have Lord only knows what in there. That's eventually going to filter down and fall on top of the people and the plants and animals and lakes and oceans. And anybody who's looked at the chemtrails here in the States, the contents of them, most of it is aluminum and barium and another real nasty substance. Aluminum, one of the known elements that's toxic to plants, fish, and mammals. That's the fucking thing we're going to put in the atmosphere, really? Fighting global warming, really? Yeah, I remember when Al Gore popped onto the scene. Then he did that documentary, Global Warming. Like, the entire, like, polar ice caps should have been melted by now, and, like, half of the Earth should be under fucking water. If all of that fucking horseshit was to be believed back in the day. It's always the same shit, too. You go look back at the history going all the way back to the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s. It's all the same shit. Oh, the Earth has 10 more years, maybe 20 tops. And then we're all going to be dead. The global warming, the environment, the oceans are rising, blah, blah, blah. And it's all the fucking same. Like, literally, they showed satellite footage from the very moment that satellite footage became a thing way back in the 90s, all the way up until now, looking at a certain coastline. And the water levels never rose at all. It's all the fucking same. The polar ice caps never fucking melted. The cities aren't underwater. It was all bullshit. Just to try to fucking extract money from people. Money and power. That was all about. There's nothing going on but the money and the power. Well, I got one in the chamber for your weak-ass cowards. As the old saying goes. Motherfuckers. Fuck, a politician was actually arrested for quoting Churchill over there? Jesus Christ. Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, Tree Goblin says there's always hope. We've actually faced much worse, but never with so many, if our own brainwashed by cultural Marxists, which is a disease here, yeah. They've got a lot of useful idiots out there. Parroting the mantras, going along with the bullshit, taking the narratives that are spun in the media and then, like, spewing them themselves. The Vito Gesualdis of the world. Yeah, what can a man do but whisper words of wisdom and let it be? Unless you have some degree of power, then you got to do something about it. Like Trump, he's got Excalibur in his hands. You can't just sit around with your thumb up your ass tweeting. If you have Excalibur in your hands, you got to slay the dragon, or else you're going to let everybody down. Same way you did last time. Yeah, but I like this move that he's doing, trying to issue an ultimatum to the UK about free speech. It probably won't go anywhere, but at least he's fucking trying. Hit him with the tariffs, sanctions. Like, do we actually get anything from the UK? Like, I know they have, well, especially England, they have a notorious reputation about having extremely poorly made products. Like, even worse than China. Like, if you think China has a bad reputation about shittily made products, England's even worse. It really is. Like, made in England, oh God, it's almost guaranteed to break or fall apart at some point. Yeah, speaking of the UK politics, I hear that Keir Starmer, the fucking prime minister over there, had got caught up in some sort of a gay scandal. Like, they got him on footage, like, making out with a dude. Yeah, this is only going to propel him forward. Yeah, the way it is with leftist politics, the more of a fucking greater scandal it is, like, the more higher upwards you fail. Like, there are very, very few institutions in which you fail upwards. Any sort of left-wing institution, boom, you're going to fail upwards. Another place where you fail upwards, Comicscape. That's the place. Like, the more untalented you are, the more shitty you are, the more terrible of a person you are, the more you are pushed within the movement. It's just like the Democrat Party. Yeah, Democrats. They fucking rule the roost over there in California. And the corruption is so rampant that you're never ever going to get them out. Like literally, you need to launch like some sort of a military coup to uproot the left over there in California. And they're so evil. They're so wicked. I mean, hell, they orchestrated the burning down of large portions of Los Angeles just so that BlackRock go in there and swoop up the property and turn it into low-income housing, smart cities and shit. Yeah, this isn't even the tip of the iceberg of the evil that these leftists in California are capable of. Here's what they did recently. I guess they passed all sorts of draconian measures for California farmers to meet as far as like environmental standards, quote unquote, that they can't fucking possibly meet because they're impossible. And they're meant to be impossible for a reason. So when these farmers can't meet these impossibly high standards for their farms, what they did was they went in there and they passed a law and they put a gag order on these farmers. They can't even talk about this. They went in there and they fucking shut down their farms. And all of these farms constituted like 60% of the fucking beef supply from California. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? And they're doing this on purpose. They're attacking the food supply. That's what they're fucking doing. This is terrorism. Woke leftist terrorism. Attacking the food supply. The same way they did with the eggs. Something fucking needs to be done. Trump has the power. No, he doesn't got fucking shit. The very second they orchestrated that quote-unquote scandal against Matt Gaetz and forced him to where Trump had to put Pam Bondi in there as the attorney general, that was it. That was the moment the globalists put him in checkmate. And this is, you can write this shit in stone. You're going to look back years from now, and that was the moment in which the left, which the globalists, which the most evilest motherfuckers on planet Earth, put Trump's entire administration in checkmate, right out the fucking gate. They forced him to get rid of Matt Gaetz and put in Pam Bondi. And like that, no Epstein client list has been released. Nobody's going to get fucking arrested. And it's going to be business as fucking usual. And anybody who actually followed that quote-unquote Matt Gaetz scandal knows it was all bullshit. They tried to set him up with some shit that didn't even stick. And it was all just for the sole purpose of not allowing him to get into that position of power. Because Matt Gaetz actually would have fucking arrested these people. He actually would have released the fucking Epstein client list. And they all fucking knew this. Yeah. It was the same thing the first time around. When Jeff Sessions was the fucking attorney general, Trump was basically a lame duck president for fucking 2 years. And then even after that, he put in, I forget who the fucking guy he replaced him with. He was even worse. Anytime you put a fucking deep state swamp rat into that position of power, you're pretty much guaranteed nobody's going to get fucking arrested. Nothing significant is going to happen. Sure enough, that's what's fucking happened. The Epstein client list will not get released. Nobody's going to go to jail. In fact, the people that spoke out against it, the fucking victims, they're all going to get killed. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, one of these fucking poor girls, Virginia Jeffrey, I think her name was, she was one of these girls that was trafficked on Epstein's Island. She came out and talked about how she's not suicidal. Hey, I'm not suicidal, blah, blah, blah. They're going to try to fucking kill my ass. Sure enough, they fucking killed her. And they said it was a suicide. Yeah, we got Trump and his people in power, but nobody's fucking getting arrested. And the fucking witnesses, the victims, are all getting fucking killed. Business is fucking usual. To be honest, I doubt Trump's even alive. I think that they killed him and replaced him with a body double. They'll throw us a little red meat here and there just for the base to say, oh, look at what Trump's doing. He's so great. But behind the scenes, we still got another fucking war fucking brewing. We got anti-Semitism legislation. The Epstein client list doesn't get released. Nobody gets prosecuted. The fucking Supreme Court just declared here recently that all of these criminal migrants all get fucking trials for some reason before they get deported? Like, what? Like, why are you not in a room right now with the most fucking hardcore Delta fucking SEAL team plotting and planning a fucking operation? Okay, who is the oldest left-wing justice we got on the Supreme Court? Okay, this is what happens. Heart attack. No. Here, no. This is what I do. We gonna David Carradine him. Autoerotic self-asphyxiation. Death by suicide. Yep. It was an accident, though. That's what you do. You find the oldest fucking judge, and then you take him out that way. Then you replace him. And like that, you got the fucking Supreme Court back in your flavor. Back in your flavor, back in your favor. That or you just take out the entire Supreme Court at once. Replace them with body doubles. That's probably what I would do. Now, you don't need to do all of them, just a couple of the key ones, the older ones. Yeah, you got to go full Niccolo Machiavelli. You're dealing with the most evilest motherfuckers on planet Earth. You can't play by the fucking rules. You really can't. You got to go full Killery. Got to go full Killery. Yeah. Killery wouldn't fuck around. Yeah, Tree Goblin is talking about it. The girl, Prince Andrew. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, she was the one that accused Prince Andrew. But then I think Prince Andrew's wife or something came out and said, well, liars get what they deserve. Like, really? Sounds like a hit. Smells like a deep state hit. Yeah, I have a feeling that this whole thing in California trying to seize the farms from these farmers, what they're going to ultimately do is it's just like how it was when they used those DEW, direct energy weapons. They fucking burnt all of that property down there in Southern California strategically. This is a strategic operation to seize the farmland. Because then what they're going to do is they're going to put the RNA in the food supply. RNA. It's that fucking nasty shit that fucks with your DNA. They're going to put that in the food supply. This is fucking terrorism is what this is. Hopefully RFK Jr. does something about it. I heard that he just passed something to get rid of the nasty dyes in the food. Food dyes. We're getting rid of the food dyes. All right, now let's get rid of the RNA in the food next. In fact, why in the fuck is Bill Gates and Anthony Fauci not behind bars right now? That's what I want to know. Yeah, California's so fucked. The only thing that could save that fucking state, there really is only one thing that Trump could do that could save that fucking state, is to pass some sort of federal voter ID bill that requires voter ID for federal elections. Like, if you're going to be voting in a presidential election, you got to have a fucking voter ID. Only fucking way. Yep. Every fucking state that voted for Kamala Harris in this past election cycle, they all had one fucking thing in common. None of them required voter ID, which means the left could basically manufacture as many votes as they need to put the Democrat over. Now, I've long said this, that I firmly believe that the entire population of the United States of America, at the very, very most, is only between 12 to 17% liberal Democrat. All of the other numbers are just made up with fraud, basically. Dead people, illegal immigrants, just general ballot stuffing. It's an extremely loud, vocal minority is what it is, that projects itself as something powerful and bigger than what it really is. But when really it's fucking nothing. It's just this little screeching chihuahua that projects its shadow onto the wall, and we all see the shadow. We don't see what it really is. This is the way reality is in many, many regards. We just see the shadows dancing on the wall. We don't see the fucking reality for what it is. I think Plato talked about this, the parable of the cave. All of these men chained underground in a cave, and they can't see beyond this little berm that has a fire going. And the people who have chained them are casting shadows on the wall using the fire. and the people chained to the wall only see the shadows. So they think those shadows are real. And that becomes their fucking reality. When the reality is, you got to look at who's making the fire and casting the shadows. And then it all clicks and comes together. Yeah, these motherfuckers. I hear that the Ukraine actually knew about the second Trump assassination attempt. The Ukraine knew that somebody was going to kill Trump. Well, the fucking military industrial complex, CIA, they all knew too. But the Ukraine knew. They fucking knew. They actually, this came out. The Ukraine knew that there was a guy going to kill Trump. And they fucking didn't try to warn Trump. Apparently, Joe Biden talked to Zelensky. And the quote unquote conspiracy is, but this is reality, Joe Biden talked to Zelensky and told him, hey, if Trump gets elected, the gravy train's not going to flow anymore. You're not going to be getting that money. So what happened was fucking Zelensky, like we all know that this fucking quote unquote assassin was one of these huge fucking Ukraine supporters, all about the Ukraine this, Ukraine that. Yeah, supposedly like this guy was working directly on behalf of fucking Zelensky to try to take out Trump. And it all fucking backfired, luckily. Yeah, but I would use that as the catalyst alone and say, hey, Ukraine, you fucking tried to get my ass killed? Like, well, we're going to end this war right now. In fact, if you don't end this fucking war now, I'm going to send fucking SEAL teams, Delta teams to your fucking compound, and I'm going to kill your ass. Fucking threaten Zelensky that way. Well, I talked about this a long time ago. A year, 2 years ago. The only way that this fucking Ukraine war ends is if Zelensky is dead. You got to kill Zelensky. Get him out of the fucking picture. Vote him out of power. Oh, no, you can't vote him out of power because he passed some sort of a martial law act, so you can't get him out of power. Once Zelensky is gone, then you can negotiate a peace. Because he's getting too much fucking money. He's making too much fucking money. He's not going to end that fucking war. Yeah, you got to kill Zelensky. Get him out of the picture. As long as he's around, that war is never going to end. Yeah, we talked about Keir Starmer being outed as a homosexual. I guess another prominent figure here just outed himself as a prominent homosexual. Kanye fucking West. Yes, Kanye West. It all makes sense now why he was such good friends with Nick Fuentes. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I guess Kanye came out and I don't know why the fuck he did this, but he basically talked about his past and about how him and his cousin, his male cousin, used to engage in homosexual relations with each other, like sucking each other off, performing fellatio, and they did this until the age of 14. Fucking teen. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, they're all gay. Every fucking one of them. Big Daddy was on the under, full real, the greatest, most fucking realest gangster rapper of our generation. I fucking really was. Every other fucking quote unquote gangster rapper, sodomites, dick suckers. In the immortal words of Richard Nixon when describing Bohemian Grove Republicans, just a bunch of fucking faggots. Well, fucking real. Like even Tupac Shakur himself. Like whenever you listen to like young Tupac, like in his teenage days, like you don't need functioning gaydar to see that Tupac Shakur was gay. Like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I actually used to collaborate with Tupac. We fucking did an album together. Biggie, too. The Triple Beam Dream Team. Yeah, we were the greatest fucking gangster rap trio of our time. It didn't last too long, obviously. But nevertheless, we had some good fucking albums out there. Well, we had some good tracks. Only one album. Maybe we'll play that one later at some point. Yeah, we're almost at that 1 hour mark. Yeah, Kanye West sucking off his cousin. Yeah, it turns out there's a lot of degeneracy out there in the African American community. Turns out most of these black men lose their virginity like in their early teens, and they lose their virginity to their aunts and their cousins. It's like incest, like rape incest, and they actually think that that elevates them somehow. Well, I've talked about this before when describing TJ Swan, and describing black people in general, especially black men. They measure their entire life's worth by how much low quality pussy they've gotten. And that includes their aunts and cousins. Go fucking real. This is some ancient African wisdom right here, I guess. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, it could be worse. Could be India. Yeah, I don't know what's worse, India or Africa. Yeah, flip a fucking coin. TJ, did you hear TJ's new story about putting mirrors on his shoes in kindergarten? What? I've never heard that one. Jesus Christ. I don't think I want to. I've already heard the story about his niece. And like, fuck, that's already too much fucking information right there. Man, I want to fuck a white woman so bad. I want to put my dick in the mashed potatoes. That's TJ Swan for you. Yeah, black men. They measure their entire life's worth by how much low quality pussy they've gotten. And conversely, you look at white women. White women measure their entire life's worth by how much cock they've taken. This is why white women and black men get along so well. Their entire life's worth is measured in how much fucking they've done. Degeneracy. Yeah. It could be worse. Could be India, I guess. I don't know what would be worse, having your country invaded by sub-Saharan Africa or India. Yeah, you look over there in Canada. Boy, they're having a hard time with those Pajits over there in Canada. Yeah, from what I hear, like using woke leftist DEI practices, these companies will hire these fucking Pajits. And the very second a Pajit gets into a position of power, i.e. HR, human resources, where they're in charge of hiring people, what happens afterwards is the Pajit phases out all of the white workers, and then he brings in Indian workers to replace the white workers with. And this is systemic. It basically happens without fail. And companies allow this fucking shit to happen. And then the company goes to complete shit afterwards. Yeah, you may think I'm full of shit. No, this is an actual real thing, believe it or not.
When an HR head or is hired that is Indian in an American company, what will begin as a cascade or domino effect of every person hired from that point on, unless there's special circumstances, will be Indian. So that's kind of the big picture and of what I want to dig in. Do you have something to say about that?
Well, yeah, that's absolutely true. This is exactly what happens. Remember one thing, though, that they hire Indians only one reason, which is that they know how to exploit other Indians better. They are doing no favor to other Indians. They don't want to hire Indians to help out Indians. If they did that, that would be morally a better situation in my view. But they hire other Indians for only one reason, which is that they know how to exploit other Indians better, which means that they can make these Indians work longer hours, pay them lower salaries, etc., etc. And once you have a certain number of Indians in an organization, because then the concept of average kicks in, and then even if you had one or two very good Indians, it gets diluted. The character of the group gets diluted. You will have dysfunctionality emerging. everything in India is dysfunctional. Nothing really works. And if you asked me to inquire about the recent plane crashes or the forest fires in Los Angeles, etc., I can tell you that no technical committee can pinpoint the real problem, because what happens with DEI and having third world people is that millions of micro compromises start happening, and small cracks start appearing which no eyes can actually see. But the cumulative effect of those micro compromises is that planes start falling, forest fires start happening, and nothing works at one point of time.
Yeah, there you go. This is reality. All we got to do is look at what happened in Canada. Yeah. It's only a matter of time until they do that over there in Australia, too. Yeah, I hear that Australia is, they're paving the way to become Canada 2.0 by having all of these Pajits fucking come in. Yeah, I guess here recently over there in Australia, they've made like getting an education in Australia, getting a master's degree, bachelor's, associates, etc. If you get a degree over there in Australia, it's considered the same as a degree that you would get in India. So let's just say you're in India and you get a bachelor's degree and in IT. Like the bachelor's degree you get in India is going to be a far lesser bachelor's degree than you would get in any sort of Western nation involving anything like that, of that regard. But Australia has decided to elevate the Indian diplomas and degrees to the same level as that of the Aussie, which is basically paving the way for Indians to come into Australia and take over just the same way they did over there in Canada. Get them in HR, and then they're going to fucking start hiring people. Yeah, Australia, you're next.
Australian university degrees are now worthless. Indian bachelor degrees, master's degrees, doctoral degrees, and even diplomas are now seen as equivalent to their Australian counterparts. And you might be thinking, well, how does that make Australian degrees worthless? Well, Australia has 10 universities in the top 200 worldwide. India has 0. Not a single Indian university makes it in the top 200 worldwide. Your prestigious Australian degree that you worked very hard to attain and probably racked up quite a bit of debt with HECS now means nothing, because it's comparable to just some random Indian university. And if you're wondering which Australian politicians hate their youth so much to do this to them, well, it was Labor, specifically Albanese, who recently doubled down, promising in a part of even more agreements with India that he would fully honour and commit to this ridiculous agreement.
Yeah, India. Like that one Indian guy said, there's nothing but dysfunction over there in India. Nothing works properly. Yeah, did you hear the story about the parable of India and the cobras? Like, apparently the cobras over there in India were fucking so rampant that the government in India issued bounties on cobras. Like, if you brought in dead cobras, they would actually pay you money. So what happened was these Indians started breeding cobras in cobra farms, just for the sole purpose of killing them and then bringing the dead cobras in to cash in for money. Well, anyway, the Indian government caught on about this, so they completely fucking pulled the plug on the whole thing. So you had all of these cobra farmers with all of these cobras they were breeding, and they didn't know what to do with the cobras afterwards, so they just released them into the wild. So what happened was the cobra population fucking bloomed fucking 100-fold. All because of government, Indian government stepping in and trying to do something. Yeah, India. Yeah, ancient Indian lore speaks of these cycles that the earth goes through. These 24,000, 12,000 year cycles. Yeah, we were in one that was called the Satya Yuga. That was when mankind was in an age of spiritual enlightenment, when we were much more spiritually advanced. But as mankind's spirit decayed and dimmed throughout the centuries, then we entered into a stage called the Kali Yuga. Yes, the Kali Yuga. They say that we're living in the Kali Yuga right now. It's characterized by reduced morality and spiritual degradation, with an emphasis on the material world. War, increased conflict, quarrel, hypocrisy, deceit, all of this runs rampant. Religion is disparaged, attacked, and ultimately expunged. Men and women turning to wickedness and degeneracy with the erosion of the family unit. Dominance of disease, lethargy, anger, natural calamities, anguish, hunger, and fear of scarcity. Rulers will put their own greed ahead of the well-being of the people. This is what's supposed to happen during the time of the Kali Yuga. Sound familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, fucking sounds familiar. Sounds like the age that we're fucking living in. Yeah, supposedly, the Kali Yuga ends when a certain character pops onto the scene. Kalki. Kalki. Riding the white horse, wielding the sword. We'll see if that happens. Then Kalki comes and rights the wrongs of the earth. Yeah, but then again, this is all Hindu lore coming from India. But this is a very, very old civilization, old religion, old culture. Sanskrit, I believe, it comes from that area, an old dead language. Talked about this on my other channel when remote viewers looked at the concept of moksha, the old Sanskrit term for escaping the cycle of reincarnation. Yeah, it was when it was realized that the entire fucking Earth is a massive prison planet being controlled by evil reptilians that feast upon our spiritual energies. Yeah, the Kali Yuga comes in these cycles. First we're in the Satya Yuga, now we're in the Kali Yuga. These 24,000, 12,000 year cycles. Yeah, usually always happens with something related to the sun. The sun always acts up, and then some sort of an event happens that basically resets the clock in civilization. That kind of has to start over again. The last time it happened was like the Younger Dryas, between 10,000, 12,000 years ago, something like that, they say, when the earth was supposedly flooded in the Great Flood. The Bible possibly speaks about it, as well as other ancient mythologies and lores. One thing that they all have in common, they all speak of some sort of a flood event. Got Art Bell in the chat. Welcome. Yeah, the West is fucked without some brutal action. We need a real leader pop onto the scene, the metaphorical Kalki of their time, if you will. Wielding that fucking sword, wielding Excalibur against the forces of evil. Bloodlines and snake lines, baby. The Love Bug era. That's Comicsgate right there. When the horrors took over. Fuck, Saudi Arabia kept slavery going until 1962? Jesus Christ. Big Daddy Yuga era. Yeah, there you go. Fuck. That's the area we need to fucking enter into. The era when mankind knows what is best in life. Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women. Yeah, over on my other channel, I forget if I've talked about it on this channel, but there's a certain YouTube channel called Metaphysical, where it's a team of remote viewers that look at a lot of random shit. And one thing they looked at was this concept of like the Earth going through these cycles or whatever. And they actually say that there's a certain phenomenon that happens once every 24,000, 12,000 years, something like that. One of them is always more powerful than the other. But what happens is there's a certain pulse that emanates from the middle of the Milky Way galaxy. And this pulse that emanates from the Milky Way galaxy eventually hits our fucking little solar system here. And when that pulse hits our solar system, it causes all sorts of massive disruption with our sun. Our sun has all sorts of like solar flares, like massive fucking X-class solar flares, just kind of like the Carrington event that happened in the 1800s, where it was so intense that fucking I was going to say telegraph. Yeah, it was telegraph lines. They were fucking catching fire. This is how intense the electromagnetism was. But they say that this type of event happens, and it comes from a pulse that emanates from the Milky Way galaxy. Now, just imagine if you're like a really, really powerful like alien civilization, and you've reached the level to where you could actually move your own planet. You reach that fucking level. What you, the last thing you want to do is allow another alien race to get to your level, to where they could possibly challenge you or destroy you or enslave you. So what would be one perfect thing you could do to virtually ensure that would never happen? You would build some sort of artificial device that would emanate a pulse once every 24,000, 12,000 years or something. That way, any fucking planet that has a sun, that sun is going to have all sorts of massive fucking activities happen that's going to possibly initiate an extinction level event, resetting the clock. Therefore, every fucking planet is only going to be able to evolve technologically to a certain degree, and then they're going to get the fucking slate wiped clean again. Therefore, they will never ever be able to reach your level and thus challenge you. I mean, if you were a real high-level alien race, I mean, fuck, that's what I would do. That would be funny if you looked right at the source, the true source of where this pulse is coming from the center of the Milky Way galaxy. And it turns out it's this massive artificial construct, like this massive like cube in space, the size of like several Jupiters combined into one. And like every so often, it just like emits this massive pulse that completely like resets the clock on all of these various fucking planets within a several square light year radius. And that way the ones that set it there will never have to worry about any competition. And they fucking set these things up all across the fucking universe. I mean, this is me theorizing here, but fuck, I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised if there were some aliens on that level. Let's put it that way. Because where is this power source coming from? Is this some sort of mysterious supernova that's emanating from a white hole somewhere? Or is it advanced alien tech that's done for a purpose? And the purpose is resetting the clock and making sure that no other alien races could ever fucking evolve to their level and thus challenge them. It's something to think about. Yeah, we're a little over an hour into the stream. Maybe we'll take a little break, come back and rant and rave a little bit more. Yeah. Big Daddy. I don't go nowhere without my heat. I know that. All right, guys. We're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back and rant and rave a little bit more.
Locked and loaded, pockets swollen, shots gon' knock you off your fucking feet. Grabbing the weapons, keeping you guessing, that I'm going nowhere without my heat. locked and loaded, pockets swollen, shots gon' blast you up a new asshole. Sold a spider, bust beside ya, extended fully auto clip. Danger, danger, catch the gangster, that big guy on his hip. And I got no weapons, keep you guessing, shots gon' knock you off your fucking feet. Rock and rollin', locked and loaded, I don't go nowhere without my heat. I don't go nowhere without my heat. I don't go nowhere without my heat.
What you expected from his next to kin? I'm loco, bro, but ain't no Mexican. I got nines in the bedrooms, Glocks in the kitchen. A shotty by the shower if you wanna shoot me while I'm shitting. The lesson from the Smith & Wesson is depressing. Niggas keep stressing the same motherfucking question. How many shots does it take to make my heart stop and my body start to shake? If I should die before I wake, all I want is dough, big booty hoes, you know. All I want is dough, big booty hoes, you know.
Got no weapons, keep you guessing, shots gon' knock you off your fucking feet. Rock and rollin', locked and loaded, I don't go nowhere without my heat. I don't go nowhere without my heat. I don't go nowhere without my heat.
Get on your knees, nigga. Get on your knees and pray. Increase the doses, bust on whoever closest. Thug living, hella prison. Never losing my focus. I'm making money moves mandatory. In the discussion, my past records tell a story. Picture niggas we rushing and still busting till the cops come running. Ducking abandoned buildings, ditching my gun. Oh, what a motherfucking feeling. I live a lifestyle of drug dealers, but now legitless. So I laugh till I'm crying when the law come get me. No baby mama drama, nigga miss me. While playing seeds in a dirty bitch, waiting to trick me. Not the life of me, living carefree till I'm buried. And if they dare me, I bust on them niggas until they scurry. I'm clearly a man of military means and my artillery watching over me through every murder scene. From adolescence to my early teens, thought we was gonna die, selling dope to all the fiends. At times I wanna cry, and still we try to change the past in vain. Never knowing if this game will last. Feeling the shame of cocaine, the product of the devil. Am I selling my soul? Got tired of small time living. Niggas telling me no, I got mine. Fuck them other suckers. That's the mentality. Jealous ass busters making hell for my.
Got no weapons, keep you guessing, shots gon' knock you off your fucking feet. Rock and rollin', locked and loaded, I don't go nowhere without my heat. I don't go nowhere without my heat. I don't go nowhere without my heat.
I know how it feel to wake up fucked up, pockets broke as hell, another rock to sell. People look at you like you's the user, selling drugs to all the losers, mad Buddha abuser. But they don't know about your stress-filled day. Baby on the way, mad bills to pay. That's why you drink Tanqueray, so you can reminisce and wish you wasn't living so devilish. Shit, I remember I was just like you, smoking blunts with my crew, flipping over 62s, cause GED wasn't B.I.G. I had to get P.A.D. That's why my moms hate me. She was forced to kick me out, no doubt. Then I figured out niggas went for 20s down south. Packed up my tools for my raw power move. Glock 19 for casket and flower moves.
And I got no weapons, keep you guessing, shots gon' knock you off your fucking feet. Rock and rollin', locked and loaded, I don't go nowhere without my heat. I don't go nowhere without my heat. I don't go nowhere without my heat. I don't go nowhere without my heat.
I don't go nowhere without my heat. All right. Welcome to the show, baby. Welcome back. All right. The second half. Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey, 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 hey. Crush enemies every day. All right. We're gonna fucking rave about next shit. We talked about quite a bit of random bullshit. UK, free speech, Cali farmers, gay Kanye West, You know, I heard the Pope died. The fucking Pope. Dead. DED. Yeah, right after J.D. Vance had visited him, supposedly. I wonder if it's related somehow. J.D. Vance has some sort of death touch. Die, Pope. Maybe it was Big Daddy. Right after I got done writing the scene about the Pope. All of a sudden, boom, he's dead. Now that's some powerful sigil magic right there. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I heard that Klaus Schwab had stepped down as the leader of the WEF, the World Economic Forum. And he got replaced by somebody who's even more evil looking. Yeah, believe it or not, there's somebody even more evil than Klaus Schwab himself. I forget what the guy's name is, but he used to be the head of Nestle. Nestle, that fucking company. And he is on the record as saying that water is not a human right. Yeah, if they could somehow strap something to our lungs and tax us for the fucking air we breathe, they would do that. They fucking really would. Mauritania never banned slavery? Really? Based? Yeah, sometimes people need to be shackled in chains. They're not responsible enough for civilization. Yeah, but the reality is, most of us are slaves to one degree or another. Chains that bind us are invisible, yet stronger than steel. Yeah, this fucking guy that replaced Klaus Schwab. He sounds even more evil than Klaus Schwab himself. Yeah, I heard all sorts of people crowing about how this is some sort of a big victory. Oh, Klaus Schwab is stepping down. Yeah, but we got somebody even more evil replacing him. Until the World Economic Forum is completely expunged as an organization, there is no fucking victory. You have to understand what is best in life. Crush your enemies, you see them driven before you, and you hear the lamentations of their blue-haired land whales. That's what you fucking do. Yeah, compare these people to James Bond villains, but the reality is these people make James Bond villains look like Sesame Street characters. Like over there in the UK, like I said, they've got some sort of fucking plan to try to block out the fucking sun. I mean, it really doesn't get more evil than that. It really doesn't. The only thing more evil would be to allow hundreds of thousands of migrants into your country and allow them to rape the fuck out of your women, and then throw the people in jail that speak out against it or try to stop it. That's about the only thing more evil I can think of. Oh wait, they're actually doing that. Yeah, as bad as we got it here in the States, it could be worse. We could be the fucking UK. Yikes. Yeah, I talked a little bit about India. You know, I hear India and Pakistan are getting ready to fucking throw down thermonuclear war. Oh, fucking real. I think I'm for this one, guys. If this is the one time I'm pro-war, yes. If it's India versus Pakistan, yeah, let them have it. Launch every fucking nuke in your arsenal at each other. Do it. Fucking do it. Oh boy, could you imagine the poop cloud that would like waft over planet Earth afterwards? Jesus Christ, it'd be worse than Mount St. Helens himself. All of that fucking shit in India all of a sudden put into vapor cloud form and then like spread over the planet Earth. Oh, fuck. Yeah, actually, never mind. Jesus Christ. That'd be messy. It'd be fucking messy. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I don't even think Trump could stop that one. India, Pakistan, cut it out, knock it off. Like, no, these people, they've been fucking saber rattling for years. This may be the time where they actually let fly with the nukes. We'll see. Probably not, but you never know. You never fucking know. We are living in the Kali Yuga after all. Yeah, we talked a little bit about Barack Hussein Obama. You know, I heard that that Big Mike is actually leaving him. Like, him and Big Mike are fucking getting divorced. Barack Hussein Obama and Michelle divorced. Yep. I heard that that Barack was getting together with Jennifer Aniston. Like, yeah, whatever. That's probably just a cover story, just to try to throw people off. Oh no, he's not a real homosexual. Look, he's dating a real woman, a white woman too. Yeah, speaking of movie stars, did you see the new fucking Predator movie that's coming out? Predator Badlands? The fucking Predator in that movie? It looks just like Michelle Obama. It really fucking does. It looks like Big Mike is starring in her first fucking movie. The Predator movie. Yeah, Big Mike. Boy, let's just say, for sake of argument, that Michelle Obama actually is a woman. She doesn't have a penis, and she's actually a real-life woman. You know what this means, right? Just look at the fucking past history of all of these people that got married and the marriages that didn't last. You got what Johnny Depp, Dr. Dre, Michael Jordan, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Barack Obama. It just goes to show it doesn't matter how high you attain in life. You could be the pinnacle of your fucking game. One of the greatest actors, one of the greatest musicians, one of the greatest fucking athletes, one of the most richest men on planet fucking Earth, one of the most powerful men on planet Earth, the President of the United States himself. Your bitch is still gonna fucking leave your ass. She's still gonna figure out a way to be unhappy. I'm so unhappy. And then she'll fucking leave you. Does it matter what you attain in life, how much money you get, how much fame, how much status, how much power you have? Your bitch will still figure out a way to leave you. Yep. This is why if you decide to get married to a woman, one of the key things you got to look for, what is her primary language? If English is her primary language, bitch is no damn good. You can't fucking marry that bitch. If English is her primary language, she's already broken. She's no fucking good. You basically have to go to the deepest, darkest third world jungle where the concept of feminism has never even been fucking heard of to find a decent woman. Full fucking real. Yeah, you go to the Congo, go to South America somewhere, get yourself a bunch of goats, a bunch of oxen, a bunch of chickens, go up in there. Like, hey, I'm looking for a bride. I've got all this stuff to trade. Well, you'll get your fucking, the princess of the village. Yeah, there you go. She's never even fucking seen a smartphone. She's never been on the internet. She's never seen a fucking screen in her life. That is the bitch you know is going to be good. Yeah, there's those damn screens. Those black scrying screens where the demons come forth and take control. If English is her primary language, there's a good chance she's no damn good. And there's absolutely zero prospect of having any sort of meaningful long-term relationship with her. Because she's going to divorce your ass at some point. Doesn't matter how rich you are, how famous you are, how powerful you are, the bitch will still fucking divorce your ass. Yeah, women, they're so fucking treacherous. I heard that Shannon Sharp has gotten involved in some sort of a sex scandal. Former NFL player, ESPN analyst Shannon Sharp. I guess some OnlyFans model lured him into some sort of a scheme, and she fucked him, and now she tried to blackmail him, and he refused to fucking pay her the blackmail, so now she's come out and like, oh God, he raped me. And now Shannon Sharp's basically been exiled and blacklisted from ESPN. At the end of the day, he'll probably be proven that he didn't do nothing wrong and the bitch tried to set him up. But it doesn't matter. All it takes is the accusation. Believe all women. Yeah, women, they're fucking treacherous. Talked about this before. Most of them are actually controlled by demons, like puppets. They're slaves to their emotions. And most of the time, the emotions that they're slave to are the negative emotions. And the ones controlling those negative emotions, evil parasite entities. Demons living in the astral realm. You look at your average bitch, she's got basically a whole swarm of demons around her, fucking just feeding off her fucking negativity. Fighting and arguing is basically their favorite pastime. Your average bitch doesn't have any hobbies. She's got no interests. She's got nothing going on in life except for arguing and fighting with her boyfriend or husband. That's literally her entire life and personality revolves around arguing and fighting. That's their favorite fucking pastime. It really is. No hobbies, no interests. No, arguing and fighting. That's it. Yeah, that's a bitch controlled by demons right there. And most all bitches are like that. You're never, ever going to find a bitch that's going to be chill, sweet, kind, and gentle. No, they're all going to fucking argue and fight with you at some point. Yeah, it's up to men to try to liberate women from their fucking demons that control them. Yeah, we need to institute a form of slavery that goes far, far beyond that of Islam itself. Never going to happen, though. Yeah, part of being in the Kali Yuga is the women, like a lot of female energy. This is where like the female energy takes over. Yeah, here over there in Japan, this thing, it's called going full samurai mode. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but in Japan, like if you get caught like harassing a woman sexually or whatever, like you can like it can really fuck you over in life. Not only like does it carry a huge stigma, but you can actually face huge fines and even jail time. And all it takes is a woman's accusation. There has to be zero proof. Well, anyway, a lot of these Japanese men have caught on to what's going on, and they're going what's called samurai mode. Now, when you assault a woman, when you fight a woman, like physically beat her up, that only carries a 15-day jail sentence. That's it. Doesn't carry no fines. It doesn't carry any long-term sentences like fucking multiple years or whatever. So what happens in Japan, like if a woman accidentally brushes up to a guy and like he thinks that this woman might try to like quote unquote hashtag me to him and destroy his life, what he'll do instead is boom, he'll just start beating the shit out of the bitch, because then all he gets is 15 days in jail and he doesn't have to worry about his life being ruined. And what they've done is they've taken advantage of this loophole in Japanese law, going samurai mode, beating the fuck out of these bitches. Boy, you imagine if they tried to do that shit in America? If there was some sort of a loophole that allowed American men to just beat the fuck out of American women? Boy, you'd see a rise of black women up in the fucking hospital. That's what you'd see. Jesus Christ. Just imagine one of these uppity negresses up in fucking Chipotle or something, and then knowing that you could just beat the fuck out of this bitch, and all it's going to do is get you 15 days in jail, then you'll become a fucking hero afterwards. Yeah, I could totally see a lot of fucking shit going down like that. Well, fucking real. Yeah, the single most fucking lowest quality form of woman there is, black women. Yep. And before you start crying about racism, this has nothing to do with skin color. No. Black women are the most lowest quality form of woman for two reasons and two reasons only. They're fat and they have bad attitudes. Yep. Bad attitudes and fat. That's it. If black women were mostly all thin and sweet and kind, like they would not be the lowest quality woman. No, in fact, they'd actually be the highest quality woman. Women that can somehow stay fit, thin, feminine, and not fucking try to start shit and act like a bitch, like that's the fucking most highest fucking quality female there is, really. That, and she's got to support you in your hobbies and endeavors in life. Like most bitches, like I said, they don't have any hobbies or interests in life other than fighting and arguing. So what they can do is instead is make their man's interests their own, and then like enjoy the interests with their man and his hobbies and all that. The man likes to go out and hiking and go out in nature. Well, then you can go out and hiking in nature and be with your man and spend time with him, and that could become your new hobby and your new passion. Yeah, a lot of these women, they got to learn to find different hobbies and passions in life other than fighting and arguing. And one thing they can do, if they get into a relationship with a man, find out what he likes to do and just surrender yourself to that. He likes anime or manga, then surrender yourself to that. Start watching all of the animes and mangas that he likes. He likes gangster movies, start fucking watching Scorsese flicks. Just try to put yourself on his level. You got something to talk about, something to bond with, other than just simply fighting and arguing. Yeah, a lot of bitches will just simply pick fights and argue because then you have the makeup sex afterwards, or you always make up afterwards. And then they think the relationship evolves and it gets stronger afterwards. When the reality is, it just gets weaker. You want the relationship to be stronger? Find out what your man's interests are and share those interests with him. Get rid of your fucking phone and share a phone together. Yeah, those couples that share phones, those are the most fucking tight-knit couples I've ever seen. TJ and Finatra said black women's pussy stink too. Oh, God. Yeah, Finatra, he strikes me as the type that would have sex with a black woman. Oh, when you're Finatra, you got to take what you can get. Shit. Yeah, bitches. Yeah, I talked about India, about how when they get into positions of power, especially HR, what they'll do is they'll hire all of their own fucking people. It's the same thing with women. Like most of the time when women get in positions of power, especially HR, what they're always going to do is hire women or minorities. Like if you're a straight white male that's competent and actually can do the job, you're not going to get fucking hired. Yeah, this is the way it goes. It really is. And this trickles down throughout all of society. Whenever you get these dumb fucking worthless cunts in positions of power, then you get all of that fucking stupid bullshit that's associated with dumb cunts trickling down into society. The Kathleen Kennedy effect. Yeah, we saw what happened. Disney, Star Wars is all just the trickle down effect of Kathleen Kennedy's fucking bullshit. Yeah, that's just a microcosm of how it is in fucking life in general, though. Yeah, I'll let this little vignette explain it. About how women, they fucking choose the path of a single mother, and most of the time, when they choose the path of a single mother, they're going to have mixed race kids. And they take those degrees, those worthless degrees, and if they happen to get put in positions of power, what they do is they push their fucking woke leftist agenda. That's what they fucking do.
I should get a college education.
Several months later.
Behold our newest campaign.
Wait. This campaign isn't progressive enough.
What do you mean?
This couple should be mixed race. That way we don't promote white supremacy. No new matches. Where have all the good men gone? Hi.
Hi.
Why don't we network back at my place? And that's how I became the most inclusive marketer in my industry. That's my son. He is my everything.
Beasts ruled by the lunar cycle. Yes, you notice that about women, how they have their monthly cycles controlled by that of the moon. Now, we all know the moon is an artificial construct that shouldn't be here. And in fact, it's a fucking base full of evil reptilians that are keeping the souls of mankind trapped on planet Earth in an endless cycle of reincarnation to harvest our spiritual energies for nefarious means. With women being their chief fucking agents that keep the souls trapped here. Beasts ruled by the lunar cycle. Never forget that. Yeah, I've talked about this in previous shows, the connection between women and demons. Right there. The connection between women and the moon. We all know with the moon what its true purpose is. Yeah, that thing shouldn't be there. It's an artificial construct. A true Death Star, if you will. Yeah, the tale of mankind is not what we think it is. Yeah, you look at the earliest tales of man, the earliest mythos tales. You hear the tale of Adam and Eve. It started out with just one human, one man. And then what they did was they created a woman by taking a piece of man, like almost like pulling a piece of man off, and then that piece of man becomes woman. Almost like you're splitting the divine feminine, the divine masculine. Yeah, this isn't the only creation myth that talks about that, though. Plato's Symposium. Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher. Yeah, you look a lot of Plato shit, and you'll find like a lot of the most ancient shit that is known to humanity before the Younger Dryas period. But in Plato's Symposium, he talks about a creation myth in which mankind originally had 4 legs, 4 arms, 4 legs, and 2 heads. And what Zeus did was he grabbed mankind and he pulled them apart and split them apart and created 2 beings. And then you hear the ancient African myth. The ancient African creation myth from South African mystic Credo Matoa, when he talks about how reptilian beings came from the sky, the Chitahuali they were called, and they came and they befriended mankind, but what they did was they tricked man, and then they tricked man into coming inside of their spaceships, and once man went inside of their spaceships, man was changed and he was split apart into male and female, because mankind used to be one androgynous being until these reptilians came and did their experiments and split us apart. Yeah, you hear all sorts of ancient tales like that. Then you hear the Theosophy, Madame Blavatsky, and then later on you hear the works of Elizabeth Clare Prophet. They speak of the same thing, basically about how the consciousness, about how the souls were split apart on a certain plane, and we were basically 2 halves of one being, and we're roaming around on planet Earth, not a whole being. I remember Robert Monroe spoke about something similar too when he was in his astral state and talking to his spirit guides, and one of his spirit guides revealed to him the true nature of humanity and like the origins of mankind, and about how mankind was originally here on planet Earth created by one race of beings that kind of just left the planet and didn't come back, and then another race came and they started messing with humanity's genetics for purposes of loosh harvesting. This was like a loosh is what they call our spiritual energies. And they figured out there was a certain being on the planet that produced distilled loosh. The distilled loosh was like their most favorite form. And this particular form of distilled loosh that this being was exuding was that of loneliness. This was the feeling that it was feeling, exuding that distilled loosh. So they had a plan after that to always engender a sense of loneliness within mankind. So they decided to take them and split them apart, their souls, to where you're always, even if you've got somebody with you, or you're a family, or you've got a marriage partner, you still don't feel whole. You're always still searching. It's because they split us apart on the fucking on a certain level, on a certain plane, split apart our consciousness, they say. And this kind of ties into a lot of these old myths about mankind originally being one being, but then kind of being pulled apart and taken apart, separated man from women, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So the only real way to defy these beings, our creators, is to reunite with our other half, to escape the soul recycling matrix together. Because even if you escape it alone, you're eventually going to come back and try to find your other half at some point. So the only way to truly escape it is to escape it together. And this is like the ultimate life hack, how to end the game. To escape the soul recycling matrix, you got to reunite with your other half. In the spiritual community, they call it the twin flame. I saw that Netflix that actually did like a hit piece on the whole concept of the twin flame. Now, just knowing that Netflix tried to do a hit piece on the whole thing leads me to believe there might be something to it. Because Netflix, I mean, everybody knows what Netflix truly is. It doesn't get much more dark or woke or more like left wing when it comes to the social engineering of Netflix. Dark, woke, evil, left wing social engineering. That's all Netflix is, basically. And if Netflix does a hit piece on the concept, there's got to be something to it. Yeah, but at the end of the day, if this astral realm is real and there's these parasite entities that live there that feast off of negative spiritual energies and will attach themselves to you and then purposefully get you to act in negative ways just so they could feed off of those emotions, and women are the ones who are most susceptible to being controlled by their emotions, then that means a lot of women out there are being controlled by these evil astral parasites. And the only way to expunge these astral parasites from the women, instead of being controlled by these demons, they got to be controlled by the men. Surrender yourself to your man. Whatever his passions are in life, have those passions become your passions. And just let your man become your new demon. That's the key right there. A lot of women don't want to do that, though. They're too beholden to their emotions, too beholden to their demons, if you know what I mean. Once man and women spiritually synthesize together again, then and only then can we escape the soul recycling matrix. We got to do it together. Love can keep us together. Right. Let me take another plug or two of wine. Maybe we're getting close to the 2-hour mark. Maybe we'll end the show in a little bit. Yeah. Parasite demons and emotional control. That's a real thing. Yeah, I talked about the Kali Yuga. If there really is some sort of a pulse that's coming from the Milky Way galaxy that's kind of resetting the clock every once in a while, I can see why there would be certain structures built that would like withstand these extinction level events. Things like the pyramids. Yeah, I heard here recently that they figured out there's these massive like underground structures beneath the pyramids. Like, hell, that'd be a place to ride out to an end times event. These fucking massive bunkers underneath the fucking pyramids. There you go. Yeah, but there's all sorts of crazy shit underground. Underground cities. The Agarthas of the world. Inner Earth might even be a thing. There could be dimensional portals within the Earth that lead to these other realms too. Yeah, I talked a little bit about reptilians earlier. Yeah, that show Metaphysical that has all of the remote viewers. They actually remote viewed the fucking origins of pigs. Like they do a lot of random looking into random things, the origins of very random animals, this and that. And one thing they looked into was the origins of pigs. And you'd be kind of surprised to hear what the origins of pigs are when these remote viewers looked at it. I guess when these reptilians first popped onto the scene and genetically engineered mankind, one thing that they would feast upon, in addition to our spiritual energies, they would feast upon our flesh. Like they would literally eat humans. Humans became basically cattle for them to eat on. But sometimes there wasn't no humans around to eat. So what they did was they took wild boars, and then they crossed wild boars with that of humans, and they created pigs so that they could eat pigs whenever humans weren't around. And this is why pigs are so similar to humans in so many ways. Like you can take up like pig organs and transplant them into humans and shit. It's because we actually share genetics with the pigs, because the reptilian blended pig DNA with human, or blended wild boar DNA with human DNA to create the pig. So that was pretty interesting. So whenever anybody's eating pork nowadays, you're basically eating your fellow man to a degree. And there's all sorts of like religious fucking contexts that go to pork. They say you're not supposed to eat pork, this and that, for many reasons. And many religions talk about how if you're an unclean spirit, or if you were like real bad, you would get reborn in the body of a pig and then you would get eaten or whatever. There may be something to that. Like if pigs share a little bit of a human DNA, I could see a spirit actually getting reincarnated into a pig form. They say pigs are actually very, very intelligent. Like one of the most intelligent animals there are, really. Just like humans. That ain't gonna stop me from eating pork, though. Pork chops are good. Bacon is good. Ham is good. It's just too fucking good to eat. I don't care if I'm eating my distant relatives. They got the kudu kudu shakes. They got the kudu kudu shakes. No, I had never heard no humans catching kudu from eating pork. I think we're all good. Yeah, I hear that they are going to be creating these things called bodyoids. Bodyoids. These are like cloned human bodies that they could harvest organs from. That's fucking crazy. Almost as crazy as putting brain cells in computer chips. Oh, wait, I guess they're already doing that too. Yeah, they're putting brain cells in computer chips, but they only last about 6 months until you got to replace them, because then like the brain cells get too fucking wore out or something. Jesus Christ, you talk about a tortured existence. Just imagine getting reincarnated into a fucking computer chip. Like, ah! And the fucking person who's using you is only looking at like a fucking furry deviant art, or fucking futa porn or something like that. Like, oh shit. Then your 6 months existence is up. Then you get reborn in the body of a pig. Yeah, being reborn as a brain in a computer chip is even lower than being born in a pig form. Yeah. All sorts of crazy shit out there on the under that we don't know about. Anybody who's familiar with the paranormal conspiracy lore knows of the Dyatlov Pass incident. Dyatlov Pass. This happened over there in Russia, over in Siberia. There was a group of hikers. They went in hiking in this area called Dyatlov Pass. And what happened was they were all mysteriously killed. Nobody knows really how they were killed or why, because they were killed in like extremely strange, grotesque ways. Like like they say, it almost looked like the bodies like were like had fallen from like a very large distances, because the organs and bones are just all smashed and broken. like liquefied organs and shit like that. Boy, that would have to be fucking hard slamming to the ground. So they just assumed that the bodies had fallen from the ground from large distances. So there was always a lot of a conspiracy related to about how these hikers actually died. Were they abducted by aliens? And were they the subject of some sort of brutal, like a human version of cattle mutilations? Were they the victims of some sort of Russian military something? They were trespassing in places they weren't. Did Bigfoot get them? Like, there's all sorts of various conspiracies related about what happened to the hikers at Dyatlov Pass. Well, anyway, this group of remote viewers associated with the metaphysical show looked at the Dyatlov Pass incident. And I guess this is what happened. This is what they said. Like, these hikers, they came into this area, and this was like an area where not a lot of people went to. And there happened to be a fucking Yeti living in this area. And what they were doing is they were making all sorts of noise, and it was pissing off this Yeti. Like, because normally it lives out there in peaceful nature, but it had these hikers making all this fucking noise. So what happened was, like, the noise that they were making pissed this Yeti off so bad that it fucking attacked them in the middle of the night. And this is what killed all of the hikers at Dyatlov Pass. It was a fucking enraged Yeti. Like, literally, it would just beat them to fucking death. Like, blah, 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 just Hulk smash on them. And this is why their bones were smashed and their organs were liquefied. Because this Yeti just fucking just went full Hulk smash on them, I guess. I thought that was a pretty fucking interesting story. Like, fuck, so these fucking Bigfoots and Yetis can be dangerous. Shit. It's not to say that it's actually real or not, but whenever you get an actual team of remote viewers, more than one, and they all find the same fucking thing, and they're all doing a blind target, yeah, you can pretty much say that shit actually happened. Yeah, there's a reason why the CIA funded that shit for so many years. If it didn't work, they wouldn't have fucking funded it for so many years. Yeah, I heard that dire wolves have returned. Fucking dire wolves. They got DNA from the old school dire wolves that existed in the younger Dryas period before the Great Flood. And they took some of that DNA and they crossed it with that of the gray wolf, and they basically brought back the dire wolf. They're all like white looking, pretty cool looking dogs, but they look basically like regular wolves. Look kind of like Ghost from Game of Thrones. But supposedly they have them enclosed in some sort of a sanctuary, and they showed the fence and all that. Now, anybody who's ever owned huskies knows, yeah, just how dumb they are and how they just can't get through fences. Oh, they're just not escape artists at all. No, wrong. No. Anybody who's ever owned a husky knows you have to fucking keep those dogs behind a fence, and you have to make sure that that fence is escape proof. And even if the fence is escape proof, that husky will still figure out a fucking way to escape. They always do. Like, they're escape artists. Like, literally, they're compelled to hunt. They got to fucking get loose and roam around and fucking kill something. Yeah, you don't think these dire wolves are going to fucking do the same thing? Like, it doesn't matter if you have like a 30-foot high fences and they're electrified, blah, blah, blah. They're going to figure out a way to escape. And once those dire wolves get out into the fucking wilds and start procreating, well, who knows how that's going to upset the balance of nature? I mean, sometimes there's a reason why things go extinct. Maybe it's designed that way. Maybe it's designed that way by a higher power. Or maybe it's designed that way by evil aliens that want to prevent any sort of civilizations from evolving to a certain point. There's always that theory, too. Dire wolves. Boy, that was a series that fucking that got I don't know what you could call what happened to Game of Thrones. That series for HBO. I mean, goddamn. Like, it started out good first 3 seasons or so, then it kind of fell off, and every season kind of got progressively worse, and then culminating in that final fucking season where it's like, oh my god, we're just completely shit the bed. I mean, it was so bad that like George R. Martin doesn't even want to fucking finish the goddamn series anymore. That's how bad the final season of Game of Thrones was. Fuck. Yeah, speaking of dire wolves, like anybody who's familiar with cryptid and paranormal lore knows of a thing called the Dog Man. The Dog Man. Yeah, I've got a lot of theories about the Dog Man. I think it might be some sort of old throwback to the cynocephali. Anybody knows what the cynocephali are? You could look back at ancient history. Ancient historians speak of this creature, the dog-headed man, the cynocephali. In Greek, that's literally what's translated to, the dog-headed man. But they're spoken of all throughout history. Even in the Bible, they speak of the shit. The dog-headed Saint Christopher, Marco Polo. There's all sorts of fucking references to the dog man, or the cynocephali. The romance of Alexander, when Alexander the Great went into India and tried to conquer India. Apparently, him and his men had captured a small handful of these dog-headed creatures, the cynocephali. Yeah, but anybody familiar with cryptid lore knows of the Dog Man. But anyway, these remote viewers associated with the metaphysical show, they talked about the Dog Man, about how they tried to remote view the Dog Man. And they talked about how they don't remote view Dog Man anymore. Let's put it that way. Because Dog Man, like with many of these paranormal entities like aliens and high level demonic entities, whenever you remote view Dog Man, the Dog Man knows that you're fucking looking at it. And whenever the Dog Man knows that you're looking at it, the Dog Man tries to hunt you down in real life. And then they have all sorts of fucking Dog Man encounters in real life afterwards. So they kind of have a policy. They don't look at the Dog Man anymore. Because whatever it is, it's fucking evil, whatever it is. I kind of have theories about it. I think it might, well, anybody who's looked at, like a true historian knows that all the way up until basically the launch of the atomic bomb, there used to be a spiritual realm that we all talked about. It was called the Fae, the land of the Fae, the place where fairies come from. This realm that's kind of like parallel to our own, but we can't see it, but it exists there, and there's creatures that live there. We have the Seelie and Unseelie courts, the place where these fairies live. But it's not just fairies. There's all sorts of creatures that live in the realm of the Fae. And I have a feeling that that's where the Dog Man comes from, this realm, the Fae realm. Because they come through portals. This is how they get here. This is one of the reasons why nobody's actually found a Dog Man body. It's because they come through portals. They don't actually live here. They kind of come here every so often and do shit. Yeah. I thought that was a pretty interesting story. Because I'm telling you, there's something to that. Like, if there wasn't a dog-headed man that existed, historians would not have spoke of it. They would not have spoke of it so matter-of-factly. Yeah, I remember here recently, this was coming off of hearing about the Dog Man, how if you remote view it, it fucking looks at you and it fucking knows where you are and it'll come after you afterwards. Well, my mind is a little bit different than your average person's mind. Like literally I have to like throw dampeners on my mind to like kind of like keep my mind from wandering too far. This is why I smoke a lot of pot. But one thing I do is I get really, really high before I go to sleep because it prevents me from dreaming. Because anytime I dream, the dreams always become nightmares without fail. They really do. Whenever my mind is working too crisp, too cleanly, that's when the fucking dark spirits come. Now, a lot of the times in the morning, when my high is wore off, that's when my mind is working at its peak efficiency, so to speak. And I remember it was like kind of like in the morning, the sun was kind of coming up. I was just kind of waking up, just a little bit. My mind was waking up, not my body. Now, the Monroe Institute, they speak of the various states of human consciousness, focus levels. And they go all the way up to 20s. Now, what they call a focus 12 state. Focus 12. This is when your body is basically at rest. Your body is sleeping, but your mind is fully awake. Now, they say if you can put yourself into focus 12, this is when you are your most powerful as far as your mind is, as far as like remote viewing, astral projection, out-of-body experiences. Putting yourself in focus 12 is the easiest way to achieve that level. When your body is basically asleep, but your mind is fully awake. And basically that's what happened to me in the morning. My body was fully asleep, but my mind was awake. And I knew I was in a focus 12 state. And when I realized I was in a focus 12 state, I remembered that episode of Metaphysical about the dog man and remote viewing them, and about how if they know they're being remote viewed, they'll fucking come after you. And all of a sudden, like, I felt my mind fucking, like, if you could imagine a VHS tape being fast forwarded, and all you're seeing is the faces of creatures. Is like all the faces of creatures are running through you. All of a sudden, it finally ends on one creature, and it's it looks like the werewolf from Van Helsing, and it's staring right at you, and it's got red eyes. And after that, I felt my body went into a sleep paralysis state, to where, boom, like fucking anybody who's been in a sleep paralysis state knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, I went full sleep paralysis mode, and my eyesight was open enough to where I could see a shadow being manifesting right there on the side of my bed. And it was a goddamn dog man fucking manifesting itself right there at my bedside as I was being fucking paralyzed. And you want to know what I did next? The only thing I could do, I invoked the name of Jesus. I went, Jesus! And after that, the shadow kind of disappeared. And then I fucking felt myself being able to control my body. The paralysis lifted. But after that, boom, it came back again. And boom, it felt like something pushed me down on the bed as hard as I could. And like I felt the paralysis went like almost tenfold. And after that, I was like, oh shit, that's not enough. So I was like, Jesus, 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 Jesus. And with each iteration of the word Jesus, I gained power. And the shadow slowly disappeared after that. And I was able to control my body after that. And the sleep paralysis ended. I was like, fuck, that was intense right there. Like, I think of God, like, I swear to God, I'm not joking. This fucking shit actually happened. Yeah, it may sound like a bit for the show. No, this fucking shit actually happened. I think I actually had a fucking dog man manifest inside my fucking place and enact some sort of a sleep paralysis on me. And like, I don't know what it was doing, try to feed off my fears, or if it was capable of fully manifesting, it might have fucking killed my ass. Who the fuck knows? But only through invoking the name of Jesus in a forceful manner was I able to get that fucking thing to leave. Yeah, I've heard this before. Like, anytime you're confronted with that level of evil, one of the few things that can break it is to invoke the name of Jesus. Whether you believe Jesus or not, you have to understand what an egregore is. An egregore is a thought form brought to life by humans collectively thinking about it. And when you have religion that's gone on for as long as it has in the form of Christianity, Catholicism, etc., you get enough people thinking about this character of Jesus. And what happened is, within the astral realm, there was created one of the most powerful demon-slaying egregores ever conceived in the minds of man, this character of Jesus. So whether you believe him or not, just by simple invoking the name, you can most of the time get evil to fucking flee. Just by calling upon the most powerful fucking demon-slaying egregore ever conceived in the minds of men. An egregore. It's like a tulpa, except when you have multiple minds thinking about one thing and it could create something. A tulpa is what happens when you have one person and you think about something hard enough and you can actually manifest a deity, manifest a being. A lot of these old school gods that these people worship are actually egregores, nothing more than beings manifested from the collective subconscious. And these things actually exist in the astral realm. And whenever you die, you go to there and their fucking kingdoms, their principalities and shit. But they're only powerful as long as they have worshipers, people who believe them. And I think this is one of the reasons why organized religion is under attack. Because if they could somehow get everybody to no longer believe in the concept of Jesus, then like that, the egregore loses all power, and thus the demons can get the upper hand. Then they have nothing that can stop them whenever they want to come attack you in the astral fucking body, attack you in your sleep, attack you in your dreams, etc., etc. It's Big Daddy dropping some wisdom right there. Yeah, shit, we're a little over 2 hours into the stream. You know what? I think we might end the show. We've gone on and talked about a lot of crazy shit tonight. I think it's time to end the show. Yes. The only question is, which fucking song do we end it on? Which fucking song do we end it on? I know. Let's end it with a little Simon and Garfunkel. That's what we'll end it with. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out. It's been a fun one. Big Daddy. The man. The myth. The motherfucking legend. The triggerer of cucks. The breaker of cults. The ender of bloodlines. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, beneath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, hearing without listening, writing songs that the voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool, as I said, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I may teach you. Take my arms that I may reach you. Spread the words that the Father always says till you're dead. And hear the sound of silence. And hear the sound of silence. The sound of silence. And touch the sound of silence.